If any of you was in animatronic streams about 3 months ago, you would have seen something called the Totally Unsuspicious Teahouse. In this Totally Unsuspicious Teahouse, the chat helped Anim come up with names and recipes for a bunch of suspicious teas. But even though these recipes were created, that does not necessarily mean that they were any good. That is why I, Anim Butler, have been tasked by my two employers, Uncle Iroh and Prince Zuko, the owners of the Totally Unsuspicious Teahouse, to test these recipes and make sure they are suitable for our most valued customer, Dave. There will be many different teas that we must taste, but to start off with, we are going with the two most popular ones as voted for by our valued customers. TNTea and Banana Bees. Now fortunately for you, I have a copy of the Totally Unsuspicious Teahouse recipes with me right now. Again, I would like to restate that these recipes are entirely chat made. That means that the Totally Unsuspicious Teahouse is not liable for any bodily harm that comes as a result of consuming our teas. The first recipe we're going to start off with today is TNTea. The first ingredient that this recipe calls for is gunpowder, for that little extra bang. Now I don't know about you, but in Australia, we don't have gunpowder, which is why we're going to make our own, i.e. with the sugar of sour lollies. Now because I am a glutton, I already have some of the sugar left over from when I ate an entire packet last night. But unfortunately, I'm not sure if you can see, but that's not enough. Let's get the rest out of this packet as well. Oh. Is this getting the sugar off? I have a better idea. We have a little bit of a gummy still left in there. That's fine, it's staying in there. Has been added. The second ingredient that this recipe calls for is a sprinkling of redstone dust. I looked in 3 different shops to try and figure out where I could get red, like, sprinkles from, and they don't sell anywhere. So what we're gonna do instead is we have silver sprinkles, and we have red food coloring, and we're going to make our own redstone dust. How much redstone is too much redstone? Oh, that's, you know what? That's a better amount of redstone. Now, I have absolutely no idea how much food coloring is an acceptable amount to make redstone. Alright, we've added food coloring. We shall now mix it. Ah yes, tools of the trade, my trusty wiggle spoon. Oh, this is looking like fantastic redstone dust right here. I would like to enlighten everyone to our new redstone dust. Can you see it? It is brilliant. In it goes. Next, we have an ever so slight hint of lemon. Now to get this exquisite flavor, I decided to go with lemon juice. I think that should be enough. The last thing that this recipe calls for is 1 cup of sand, and unlike a certain sand mafia munching psychopath, I don't think my body can process sand. So instead, we're going to make our own. Now to replicate the same texture as sand, I'm using milk arrowroot biscuits for that good old crunch. That was stupid. I am in fact a moron. You know what? The kitchen doesn't stop for anyone. We have to keep going. Now it is time to get 1 cup of the stuff. This is 1 cup exactly. Oh, look at this brilliant sand that is dripping everywhere. Oh, there's a hole in the bag. Okay, you know what? That's fine. That is in fact 1 cup of sand. Into the recipe it goes. Although this is the end of the recipe, I think there is a significant lack of moisture for this to be a tea. So what we're going to do is we're going to add moisture. Now, do I go with milk or water? Maybe water. Water isn't tea, right? You know what? I might have actually added a little bit too much water, so let's add a little bit more of the sand. You know what? All of the sand. Let's just go with all of it. It's fine. I am putting this into my body. This is a terrible idea. To get the brilliant mix of all the different flavors that we're after, we simply have to blend the crap out of this. It looks like I've just blended an orphan. Now let's get a whiff of that amazing texture. Smells like burnt circuitry and biscuits. Before we drink this, it says we have to heat it up till it hisses and serve immediately. Now, I'm not too sure what the likelihood of this hissing is, but we can do the first part. Hot time! And not the drug. And now we add our brilliant texture to what is soon going to be on the stove. Oh, look at this delectable color. Now, I don't want to make this too hot for human consumption, so we're going to let this simmer for, let's say, a couple of minutes. Let's check in and see how this is going. Oh! We got some bubbles! Ooh, okay, that smells like it's burning. Oh no! Now for some ungodly reason, this is starting to get really thick. Oh god, what did I put in here that made that do that? Now I guess it's time to drink the final product. Oh, yep. Oh. Oh, yep, yep. That is a drink. Just in case I don't want that polluting my taste buds for the next 7 centuries, I also decided to buy a pack of a Pepsi. Yep, I know it's not Coke, don't scream at me. We're not gonna have a drink before we drink this stuff because, quite frankly, I don't want my taste buds to be warped when I drink this, because it's already gonna be warped enough, but you know what? Bottoms up, as I always say. Surprisingly, it's actually not that bad. It tastes like if you put lemon meringue and arrowroot biscuits together. Whew. But then the lemon hits you and it's like, you know what? Kind of. Oh, that's lemon, all right. That's lemon. Whew, okay. You know what? I'm not gonna drink any more of this. Test number 1. We're gonna sit it right there so that it can just be there for the rest of the video. Now that I've cleaned out our blender, it's time to move on to the next recipe, banana bees. I believe for this one, I might need a chopping board. Now the first ingredient that this recipe calls for is banana peel. Yes. Hey Google, is banana peel okay to eat?
Bananas themselves are already good sources of those nutrients, so it's not necessary to eat the peel as well, although it's safe to do so.
Great, looks like I'm eating a banana peel. Now the ingredient after that says banana flesh, so I'm going to guess that we're just going to throw an entire banana into this blender. Because I'm not a moron, we are going to chop this up into finely diced sections first. Oh, this is going to taste fantastic. Now that our entire banana has been cut up, it's time to put this into the blender. This is going to be fun. The next ingredient that this recipe calls for is bee stingers. For the surprise. Now, I had the fantastic idea of using black licorice for this, but you see, the issue was, I went to 3 different stores, and I'm not kidding when I say that the least amount of black licorice I could buy was 2 meters. So anyway, we're going to cut this into little bee stinger shaped things and hope for the best. I've cut this into some vaguely bee stinger-like shapes, and unfortunately, I still have pretty much all of my black licorice left. There is just so much of this stuff. In the bee stingers go, I guess. God, I hate black licorice. Now the next ingredient is banana flavored shiny rocks. Now, I had a brilliant idea for this one, you know? See, I had the fantastic idea that we can use banana chips. The recipe doesn't specify how much banana flavored shiny rocks needs to go in here, so we're going to guesstimate. That seems about enough. This tastes like if I was to eat cardboard that has been slightly marinated in sugar for at least 72 days. Oh, I'm glad that was the thing I decided to do. Oh, I'm a moron, no! I let the TNT sit for too long and now it's stuck to the bottom of the pan, no! The next thing the recipe asks for is a bee eye floating. And funnily enough, I still have 2 meters of black licorice left, so we can have multiple bee eyes if we want. Here we go, several bee eyes, and I only used up 1 centimeter of this black licorice, but we're not going to put these in right now. Like it says that we want these to be floating, so I'm going to put this on after we've blended the mixture together. Just so that we can make sure all of this is blended up and pureed in a very nice fashion. What we're going to do now is we're going to blend it. Would you like to blend it a little bit more? You know what, maybe to let this blend a little bit more easily, we're gonna put some milk into here. So this will end up being more like a smoothie than it will a tea, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta have variety in these kinds of things, you know? Oh, that really did help. Smells like banana. Now the last ingredient that this recipe calls for is an entire bottle of honey. And luckily, I've come prepared. Fun fact, I actually despise honey. I really don't enjoy this stuff. It is honestly just not the best. Really just not a great condiment in general. So the fact that I'm going to be putting an entire jar of this stuff into this drink, which I'm then going to consume. I don't know how the blender's going to deal with an entire jar of honey inside of it, but you know what? At least there's milk and other stuff in there, so hopefully it blends it all up nice and well. That's so sweet. Here we go. And just to make sure that we're not skimping out on this lovely delicious meal and we get all the honey that we need, There we go. Yeah, that's all of it. All right, entire jar of honey in the blender. Time to blend this bad baby up again. Oh, I don't like the sound that makes. Surprisingly, it actually doesn't look, it looks like a banana cake if you put it into a blender, let's just say that. Sniff test, let's see what this smells like. Oh, it actually smells like a banana cake. All right, now glass number 2. The second and final test for this video, to see whether these can make it into the Totally Unsuspicious tea house or not. This is legitimately just banana cake batter. Oh, and we can't forget the floating bee eyes, of course. That needs to be floating in the lovely drink that we have here. And float they do, because this drink is too thick for them to sink. Lovely. I would like you to have a look at this. You can't even see that. Okay, wait, let me come closer. Can you see this now? Oh, lovely, is it not? Fantastic. I would like to restate that there is an entire banana peel inside of this. And black licorice, which I despise. And honey, which I possibly despise even more. Please like and subscribe. Please ring the bell notification. Just please do it, please. For Dave, for my bosses, Uncle Iroh and Prince Zuko, I will now drink. See you on the flip side. I got one of the bee stingers. Oh! Oh, yeah, the licorice. I'm not sure how I feel about the licorice, to be completely honest with you. Let's just say that this is edible. I'm not gonna lie. This would legitimately just taste like banana cake batter if it didn't have the copious amounts of honey inside of it. The honey dominates, I want to say, about 55% of this drink. The licorice, if you get any licorice, dominates about the other, let's say 35%. Oh no, let's go with the 25% actually. And the banana dominates the rest, which I believe it adds up to like, what, let's say like 10, 20%. You know, for science, I'm gonna take another drink. It's so thick, it's so thick. It's so thick. You know what? I can definitely taste the fiberness of the banana skin. But surprisingly, it actually isn't too bad. It's more so the honey that is, really just, it's really the honey is just, it's just overpowered. The honey is, it's honey. But aside from that, I'm not gonna lie. Not as terrible as I thought it was gonna be. Not too fantastic either. Now to wrap up this video, you might be wondering, but Anim Butler, which one tastes the best? I'm gonna take another sip of both of these and tell you. In my left hand here, we have the TNTea, which is still warm, it's lovely. In my right hand, we have the Banana Bees. Let's see how this tastes. The biscuits have gotten even more soggy since I last had it, so this is really just not fantastic. Oh, that's certainly lemon. TNTea. Honestly, I'm gonna say they're just as bad as each other. Depending on whether you would like these or not really depends on what kind of taste palette you have. For example, this one is very sour. It has a very nice lemony taste to it. It just literally tastes like I've just put a lemon meringue pie into a blender and added some Arnott's biscuits. It actually isn't terribly bad. The Banana Bees, on the other hand, would appeal to people who like banana or sweet things a little bit more. Or if you love honey, then you would love this one. You would be all over this one. Because you see, there is a hint of banana, but the honey is extremely overpowering. And then when you get that little bite of a little bit of a licorice bit, yeah, that's when the entire thing just goes to shit. Honestly, I forgot that I put banana rocks inside of this. You can't taste them. They've been so blended up and purified that I don't know if they even exist in this mortal plane anymore. But let's just say that I don't particularly have an opinion on which one of these is better because I just like lemon. Giving me burps now. I just like lemon. And honey, honey is disgusting. So to be completely honest, I don't think I could give you a valid excuse as to which one of these would taste better. Let's wrap this up. Let's give this a rating out of 10 stars. This one, a solid 2.5. This one, let's go with a solid 1. Would I recommend that these be stocked in the Totally Unsuspicious Tea House? Of course! They are still consumable and edible, which means there's no reason why they can't go into the tea house, because my bosses are very tough. They don't care what's in the drinks. They just want me to make stuff. All of this was just a farce, really. It's just a publicity stunt. They just want me to make sure that people are aware of what I'm making so that they can come drink the Totally Unsuspicious. help. But this wraps up episode 1 of Anna Butler Makes Totally Unsuspicious Teahouse Recipes. It's totally not a drug shop. Come get yours today. The health benefits are magical. A big thank you to the chat who helps me write these delicious meals, including Orange, Retro, and Zaha, and probably a couple of other people as well, which I will scatter around the screen if I can figure out who is who. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more recipes such as Ranch Rabbit, Dragon Fruit Drowns, Arachnophobia, Wild Wolf, Bunny Biscuits, Gus Grape. If you want to see this one, let me know because that would be a very, very good video, just trust me on this one. Peachy Pigs, Blood, it's just blood, Passion Fruit Panda, and Chicken, which is an entire raw chicken, blended and drunken. Yep. Uncle Iroh and Prince Zuko, if you're watching my review, then yes, please, feel free to stock these in the Totally Unsuspicious Teahouse. I'm sure someone out there will love them. Someone. But for now, this is Anna Butler out.